let's talk about how to keep the holiday weight off because this is something I have to deal with every year. All my clients are always like, how do I do it? Well, these are the tips and tricks that I give them. So, welcome to the Strong for Life podcast. This is Coach Josh Wood, and I'm down here in Hobart, Tasmania at our new time, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. And we'll see how this works. Let's see here. Let's go through the spiel. So if you're catching this on any of the podcast platforms, Amazon, Apple, Spotify, or if you found it somewhere else like YouTube, please take a moment to rate, review, share, and ask questions. That's what makes this work best, is if you ask questions about what you want to know, and then I can tell you about those things, which is why we're talking about how to manage potential weight gain issues over the Christmas season. So let's get into it. No big announcements this week. Just kick it along. My newborn son is a month old this week. Month old on Thursday. So still a lot of adjusting happening here. Still got my very interesting and exciting 3.5-year-old and trying to get out and do fun things with him and spend time with the new baby. And for all those busy parents and professionals, or if you're a busy parent and a professional, you probably understand the challenge of finding this balance. And that's what this podcast is all about. It's about trying to help folks like you who are busy, time poor, have a lot of responsibilities, yet still need to look after yourself so that you can be there for those other responsibilities. So, Strong for Life podcast, all about those busy parents and professionals. And I try to keep it short and snappy so you can just take some useful things or a potentially interesting and motivational story and run with it, and hopefully your week is a little better. But again, ask questions. This is live on 2 platforms. It's streaming live into the Become Strong for Life Facebook group, which you are welcome to come and join. Just mention in the membership questions that you found us through the podcast. And if you're catching this on YouTube, which is the newest addition to the live stream, please shout out and let me know what you think. Let me know how it's going. All right, so let's just go into some quick tips and tricks. So the biggest issue we find with the holidays is, well, chaos. A lot of people do pretty well with their nutrition and their exercise during the non-holiday period because they have routine. Routine is so important to making sure that we are able to maintain what we want for our goals. So when routine goes out the window, usually nutrition goes out with it, and people reach for whatever is most pleasurable to the mouth, feel-good foods, which then tend to not make you feel good afterwards. So let's go through some things that can really help keep you strong and on track while the rest of the world is going crazy around you. And I'm not going to tell you to avoid anything in particular. One thing I always say is there are no good and bad foods. There are just things that help you or detract from reaching your goals in the life you want. I don't tell people not to eat certain things because food and food enjoyment is one of the great pleasures in life, and it's also really important to social interaction. And we need that. So let's go over things that you can manage that will help you maintain your weight and your leanness and whatever other goals you're working towards during this chaotic period of time. And the first thing I want to mention is, of course, water. Drink water. Make sure that make sure that the things you're drinking are mostly water. I know there's a lot of sugary and alcoholic beverages that go around this time, but if you are about to go to dinner and you know you're going to have a few holiday cocktails and you know that you're going to have some wine or whatever it is, drink a big glass of water first. Stay hydrated. Before, during, after meals, make sure you just drink a big glass of water around each meal or feeding session. So if you're about to go out for a holiday lunch for work, before you order your food, get a big glass of water, something like 2 cups of water or 500 mils, and down that. Make sure you're hydrated and make sure that you're not craving sweet things or certain foods because you're actually thirsty. So cover your hydration first, and just make sure you have a nice big glass of water before each meal every day. When you get up in the morning, have a big glass there too. That should give you 4 500 ml glasses of water, 4 large glasses of water. You can add some electrolytes to that. I like to add a little pinch of salt. And that will cover your hydration pretty well. If you're eating whole foods, you don't need to drink a certain amount of water. You drink when you're thirsty. But preempting the cravings and the thirst will help you maintain a little self-control when otherwise you would lose it. So big glass of water before feeding or drinking anything that's not water, and first thing in the morning. I mix in some protein water with mine in the morning. So 500 mils, scoop of the Bulk Nutrients Future Whey, which is a non-milky protein. It's pretty delicious. Pinch of salt, bit of creatine for me, but just a big glass of water in the morning. Big glass of water, morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and that'll help. Next, when you're out eating or you're out at a party, especially at parties where you have just a big table of food and you need to scoop everything onto a little paper plate, the first thing you should do, your very first plate should be protein focused. So if you're looking at your big buffet table and there's a bunch of little cocktail sausages or cheese, salami, or maybe it's dinner and you have big roasts and things like that, your first plate should be protein dominated. So take one plate, put as much protein on it as you can, meats, cheeses, that kind of thing, and eat all that. Then, after you've had your water, your protein, then go eat whatever you want. And you'll find very quickly that you're not going to be as hungry. You're going to feel better longer. Your energy levels are going to be better. Your cravings are going to be better. And because of that, you're much less likely to eat 3 plates of garbage because those things don't satiate you. They don't nourish you. They don't keep you feeling full. They make you feel bloated and sick. But they're delicious. So water and protein, first things you do when you go for a meal or some sort of social engagement. The next thing that you should really focus on is walking. Walk, walk, walk. Walk everywhere in the holiday season. If you're going to pick up Christmas presents, park in the back of the car park, walk all the way to the front, walk all your bags out, or push your cart or your trolley, whatever. Walk as much and as often as you can. Not only is this actually just really good for you, and I do believe that walking is the foundation of health. It's the first thing that I focus on with everybody that I work with. You need to be walking more. This will also help increase your calorie burn, and so any extra indulgences you have are less potent. They're less likely to derail you, and you're maintaining control over something that you can control in your life. And if it's cold outside and you're in the northern hemisphere, because it's summer here now, summer in Australia, I'm wearing a singlet. If you're not watching this video, you can't tell, but I'm wearing a singlet. Like, it's 10 in the morning and it's warm out. Christmas is warm here. It's easy to get out and walk around as long as it's not too hot. If you're in a cold place, the cold is going to help you. Thermogenesis, your body's energy requirements to keep you warm are going to be very high. So walking in that colder temperature will help you burn more energy, more calories, and help negate some of the ill effects of over consuming foods that you know you probably shouldn't. But we're going to do it because it's the holidays and it's delicious. So water, protein, and walk everywhere. And if you do those 3 things, you get your 4 big glasses of water a day, around meals, before big drinking sessions. You eat your plate of protein at each meal, before buffets, before parties, at the party, and then you have the treats afterwards, and then you're walking all the time. You're going to be better off than 99% of people when it's not holidays. These are great habits, but these are 3 things that you can control easily-ish, somewhat easily. You can control these three things and make your holiday season not just fun, but a benefit to your health, your fitness, and your personal wellness goals. So focus on water, eat your protein, and walk everywhere. Keep in mind, though, if you are changing your diet drastically, if you are consuming a lot of really salty things or sweet things or alcohol, and you're really worried about the scale, you will see a fluctuation. Upwards of 3 kilos per day in fluctuation can be really normal, especially with big changes in diet. Sugar, alcohol, and salt, in addition to your normal diet, can make changes to how much water you're holding. but you will get rid of that within a few days when you go back to your normal diet. So making sure that you're moving and eating well normally, you shouldn't see as much fluctuation. So something to keep in mind. Control these three things and be mindful that changes in the scale are probably very minimal, especially if they happen in a very short amount of time, but they're not going to last because it's just additional water weight. You can't have Christmas dinner and gain 3 kilos of fat. You could have a big pile of salty food that you don't normally eat and hold more water. That's normal. That's fine. Same time next week, it won't be there if you go back to your normal diet, but it's the continuing consumption of foods that aren't part of your normal diet in excess that will cause weight gain. So individual events, not a problem. Keeping on top of your water, getting your protein means you're not going to be as hungry, and it means you're going to maintain good muscle mass. Walking, especially in the cold, is going to increase your energy expenditure, and 'tis the season. Get out and look at the Christmas lights. Go walk in the snow, build a snowman, throw a snowball as big as a pumpkin at your child's head. All these things will keep you happy, active, healthy, and help reduce that holiday weight gain. So if you can dial in those three things, you're going to be just fine for the holidays. So don't just throw it all out the window and be like, I can't control anything. It's not true. You can control you, and you can enjoy yourself and still maintain your health. And that's all I really wanted to say this week. So I'm just going to have a quick look to see if there was any questions in the live streams. Nothing that I haven't covered. So I think we're good, folks. Now, we'll still be on for next week, the 19th, but the 26th is the day after Christmas in 2 weeks, so Boxing Day. I'm probably not going to be doing the live stream. So if you have any other questions between now and next week, please let me know on one of the channels. You can follow me at Coach Josh Wood on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Or you can follow the Strong for Life online coaching pages, or pop into the Facebook group, Become Strong for Life, and ask your questions there and share your journey, because that's what the page is all about. So until then, remember, water, protein, walking, and enjoy yourself. Have a good week. I forgot to record again.